newsprint. It doesn't paper mache as well, and it doesn't bend as well because of the ink covering all of the paper. I roll it loosely. Pipe cleaner. The craft ones are looser, but in this assignment it doesn't make a difference. They're also longer. I tell the children to do it as tightly as possible, like a twisty when you're doing your bread. Twisties would even work, probably. But we need the length of the pipe cleaner. This is very tight and will not come undone.
Okay.
Tears lengthwise. That's how it's set up on the spool. You can't tear the other way. I use half a sheet for the head, and this is very loosely wrinkled. And we go around this, and we twist around, and the warmth of your hands with wood is really the secret to any of this when you're crunching paper. And the boys with really big hands can work this one well. Okay, stop. Now we just tape to shape, and we try not to use a lot of tape because the paper mache doesn't stick to the tape well. And I put a little bit of tape attached so we have some neck there. As long as we have some sort of oval look. And I've torn some tape into long strips because I don't want a lot of tape. And you get somewhat of an oval shape, and it can be moved up. This is when you decide where you're going to put the holder, because we are going to hang these when they dry. This can either be snipped off or hidden by a hat, depending on what kind of figure you have. I'm putting that down. I'm going to tear
Okay, it's going.
another double. It's one sheet, just folded. And again, I roll them together with the fold. You could open it up and do a lot more rolling. But it's very loose so I can crunch it. Softness in my hand. I grab it 1/3 of the way. And I put it around the neck, kind of like a shawl. I'm trying to crunch as much as I can down. The short part comes forward. Some people could use this as a big shoulder too. Now we're starting to form the personality of the creature. I wrap the short end around for the torso, and we do have a bend going on. A lot of people tape too much here at this point. This is the back, and I will put a piece of tape here and maybe one here to keep the spinal column looking correct. And the bending has to do with the warmth of your hands. So now we're getting a side view. And of course, skeletons don't have much hips or rear end, so we're not worried about that. I'll put that down. I'm going to do the leg. This again is a single sheet, double. And this is going to serve as the legs. And the looser we roll here is where we're going to tuck the feet in. If you want to have feet in angles, that's up to you if you want it or not. And I take the long part and now I basically do it sort of like what someone said, diapers. And then I add more reinforcement to the back and the spinal column. And if you want a waist, crunch it in there. But once the tape's on, it's hard to shape. Now we've got the basic shape. I can put bend here, I can crunch, I can put positioning in, and the arms are long enough to use wrists. The legs, however, are not really long enough to be a full-length leg. So I will show you how to attach the feet that I do. Otherwise, you cut this off and make it balanced. Okay, so this is going to be the feet, because if we leave the arms this length, the legs have to be longer. If I was going to use these legs as is, then I would cut some off right here to make the arms shorter and more in proportion to the human body. But it's folk art. Who cares? I fold a corner and I really just start in a triangular type thing and I crunch it. That's the foot. It's just crunch. And then I will twist this. Twisting gets a lot of strength. I twist this very tightly. Twisting has strength and has, I don't like putting the ankle in the shape yet, but that could be how we do it. Now is where I leave this open. I can tuck that in. And now I go around and I will tape this right here. You have to make sure the foot is attached to the leg. Otherwise the leg will come straight out. Just as we made sure the pipe cleaner was attached to the arms. You don't want anything being able to be pulled out by weight of the wet paper mache. Now's when I start looking at where the head is. Which way do I want this to go? And I realize I want the leg to go this way because that's pointing with the head. So I will take this long tape and actually make it like a stirrup to make sure that it's shaped that way. And now since it's so loose, this is when you can make muscles and knees. One child did a skateboard, so he put great big knobby pads around the knees. And it's now just bending, and how do you want the position? Wherever you have a joint, you need to have it taped in that position, and not a lot of tape.
Sub could use it.
And truly, I think people learn more without an audio. I think their ears take away from their brain. Checking for proportion.